Hello everybody, my name is Kellen Foster and today I'll be bringing you through the life story of, this sounds boring. Stay with me, okay? Stay with me. Now I will be taking you through the life story of someone who was very important to a lot of people. She was a Mexican self-portrait artist, she survived a horrible accident, she was a feminist icon and an active communist. Communist? Okay, haven't done this before. This will be new. But I'll be telling you about the life story of Mexican self-portrait artist Magdalena Carmen Frida Kahlo I'm going to call her Frida Kahlo. Now, I will be taking you through her life story. And what better place to start the life story than the childhood? Let's go. Frida Kahlo was born on July 6, 1907 in Mexico City. Her mother was named Matilde. I think I'm saying that right? Matilde? Yeah, I think so. Not Matilda. No, not this person. Different person. Her mother was Matilde, native Mexican, but her father's name was Wilhelm. Wait. Wilhelm? Like the Wilhelm? Really? Are you sure? Yeah? Okay. Now, her father's name was Wilhelm. He was a German immigrant, photographer who immigrated to Mexico. And from there, he married Matilde and they had a lot of kids. Frida Kahlo had two older sisters. Matilde, again, not Matilda, Matilde, and Adriana. And then she also had one younger sister. This younger sister was named Christina. They grew up in the family home where Frida was born, and it's known as the Blue House or Casa Azul. I think I'm pronouncing that. I don't know. But yeah, I think it's a pretty accurate name for the Blue House. Look at this. It's like they just melted down Smurfs and put it on the... Yeah, alright. It's actually very pretty. Frida unfortunately contracted polio at age 6, and she was bedridden for 9 months. Just think about it. Sitting in your bed with nothing to do for 9 months. I mean, most of us, we've cheated class, I'm pretty sure, most of us. And have you ever had your parents just make you stay in bed? It's not fun. Imagine doing that for 9 months. She had a baby in that time. Get your head out of the gutter, okay? But anyway, after her recovery, she unfortunately continued to have a limp, but her father, Wilhelm, encouraged her to play sports, go swimming, and do wrestling to improve her recovery. And I think a lot of us could learn from this. I mean, when was the last time you went out? Mateo, when was the last time you went out? So, I think we could all go out a bit more, just side note. How come I haven't done that today? Hey guys, watch this! Oh yeah, right. Whatever, this isn't about me, or Mateo, or you. Now of course, Frida's story does not end at her childhood. Unfortunately, she did contract polio and then had physical problems throughout her life. But we move on to her college and studies life. And this is about the time where she would have the incident that would change her life if polio didn't change her life. So Frida attended the National Preparatory School in Mexico, renowned school, and she attended it in 1922 and was one of the few females there. So for all you ladies in the audience who think that you're alone, 1922, think about it. Alright, you're not... There's so many of you. Come on. Stop being so depressed. Lighten up. Come on. But anyway, Frida became quickly known in the school to have a happy spirit and a love for colorful clothing and jewelry. But yeah, I mean, seriously, come on. I mean, look at this. She's one of the few females at her school in 1922. Lots of sexism and stuff. Not a lot things to be happy about, and she's still keeping this amazing, happy spirit. And then you've got some of you guys who just, I mean, come on, lighten up. It doesn't hurt, really. Come on, like, don't take me as an example, but take someone else. No. Anyway, it was not only at the school that she did most of her studying. Also here, she met her future husband, David Rivera. He was a communist muralist, like another communist? Well, okay, let's do this. Yeah, so he was on a project at Frida's school, and she would frequently watch him, and she told one of her friends, according to this friend, that one day she would have Rivera's baby. Seriously? Killing Foster does not condone the stalking and creepy predictions about potential soulmates and stuff. Seriously, this lady was crushing hard. I mean, that saying that stuff, you don't even know the person. Okay then. Right on you. Right on, Frida. Good job. Now everything seems to be going okay right now, right? Well, fateful day, September 17th, 1925. She was driving with her current boyfriend, Alejandro Gomez Arias, on a bus. And this bus, I don't know how this happened, but this bus hit the car. Now Frida in this accident happened to, unfortunately, break her spine and her pelvis, as well as being impaled by a steel hand. Okay, that's nasty. So yeah, she was impaled by a steel handrail, and for those of you with the brain capacity of a Mateo, sorry Mateo, I'm gonna roast you again. For those of you with the brain capacity of a Mateo, that means she got hurt really bad. Like, it hurt a lot. So naturally, when you get hurt really bad, you go to the hospital, unless, I don't know. Yeah. So she went to the hospital. She went to Red Cross Hospital in Mexico City for several weeks. When she returned home, she continued her recovery, but that's around the time where she got into painting. I guess she didn't want to go outdoors anymore or something like that. I don't know. Sports were doing just, well, she broke her spine. Never mind, that wouldn't have worked. Never mind, don't try that. She got into painting while she was recovering at home. And her first painting was a self-portrait of herself, which she gave away to Gomez Arias, her boyfriend. In her time of recovery, it did not stop her from being politically active. In this time, in her recovery, she joined the Young Communist League and the Mexican Communist Party. And, this is 1925 or so. And if this was in America, I wouldn't even want to imagine. Damn, she was a full-blown communist, wasn't she? Well, I guess that's what I said earlier. But her story doesn't end there either. We now are entering the time of her marriage and travels, one of the prime areas of her life. This next section of the video starts in 1928, when Frida met and reconnected with David Rivera, I guess you could say, her college crush. Does that count? Watching somebody from afar? Saying you're going to sleep with them? Yep, okay, it counts. Alright, so that counts. With this reconnection, David encouraged her artwork, and they eventually started getting in a relationship with each other. And they married the next year. Now after their marriage, they typically traveled more. They traveled with David's work. And so they went to places such as San Francisco, New York, and Detroit. This sounds like a great idea. We're going to walk into America. And completely, in the middle of the Red Scare, we're all afraid of communists. But you know what? America, we're going to do what we want. Why isn't that our national anthem? And they're their time here, they stayed relatively separate from each other. They were never really that, I don't want to say normal, but they were never really that kind of normal couple. They were very separate. In her time in San Francisco, Frida managed to show off one of her portraits. It was called Frida and David Rivera. It's probably on screen right now. And she showed that off in the 6th exhibition. She showed it off in the 6th exhibition of San Francisco Society of Women Artists. That, my friends, was a mouthful. And hard to remember. So yeah, props for me. Yeah, I'm just gonna, yeah. Can we make that an acronym? Wait, nope, bad idea, nope. However, despite this, in 1932, Frida's artwork began to take a more surreal twist. If you know what I mean. You don't, but you're about to see. If you don't know what I mean, I'll show you one of her paintings. It was called Henry Ford Hospital. And, I'll just let you look at it. You see that? This piece of art was used to represent her tragic second miscarriage. And, call me uncultured, but am I the only one who doesn't see the resemblance here? It's creative, I'll give it that, but I don't see the resemblance. Spiller, do you see the resemblance? Anybody? In 1933, they were in New York when everything got a little controversial, and it's not because of Frida's surreal art. That was not controversial. What was controversial about their time there was one of David's murals. He painted men at the crossroads, and I'll let you look at this. And what apparently was in here was the portrait of a communist leader, Vladimir Lenin. And you know, I warned you guys about this. They are in America, and America don't like communists, and that was a horrible accent. I am so sorry. So after they found out that David was painting a communist leader, because again, America, they moved back to Mexico, and they lived in San Angel for some time. In this time, they came back together. They lived together. In their time together, Frida found out that David was cheating on her with her sister. What? The drama! No, but really, that's terrible. It's really bad. Only to add to this, Frida unfortunately had another miscarriage that next year in 1934. So that makes it 3, right? Yeah, 3 miscarriages. Miscarriages are horrible, believe me. After this, Frida and David lived in periods of separation from each other, but there was something that brought them back together. And was it an intervention? No. Was it newfound love? No. It was to house a communist leader, Stalin's rival. Stalin's rival, Leon Trotsky, and his wife. They stayed at their house with them. And it's believed that Frida had an affair with Leon. So, the couple then divorced in 1940. And they actually, they got back together, which is great. So even after they got back together, they still remained in periods of separation from each other, and they continued to have a lot of affairs. And, well, to be honest, this kind of sounds like an average middle school relationship, you know. They're together, they love each other, and then they kind of separate, and then they break up, and then they get back together, and then they house a communist leader, and then the girl sleeps with that leader. Wait, no, that's where it ends. Now, we are going to enter the guts of this video. The part we've all been waiting for. No, it's not the conclusion. This is the part we've all been waiting for. Well, me, you, probably, maybe, no? Okay, stay with me, please. Now, Frida made popular works of art in her time, and all of them were very unique, creative, as well as they were bizarre. One of these cases was when a magazine editor, Claire Luce, asked for Frida to make a portrait of her alongside the late actress Dorothy Hale. Now, Hale had committed suicide earlier, and she wanted to make this portrait for the grieving mother. Instead, however, of receiving the portrait that Luce desired for the grieving mother of Dorothy Hale, she got something much different. She got the story of how Dorothy died, and I'll let you figure out how she died. Just take your time. Take your time. So after this, Frida lived in Paris for a time. And while she was here, she made a lot of friends with people like Picasso and, other artists. And I mean, this is crazy! She's making friends with like Picasso and all these other really famous artists and stuff, and I'm here with you guys. I want to go to Paris, guys. Come on, I want to travel. I want to go places, see things. Please. In response to her divorce that I told you about earlier, Frida painted another work of art called The Two Fridas. And this represented the loved and unloved versions of her. And I think I got that the wrong way. This is the unloved, this is the love. Unloved, love. Unloved, love. Unloved, love. I'm just doing this to a screen. I don't know what you guys are seeing here. When she moved back to Mexico, the Mexican government asked for 5 portraits of important people in Mexico. Unfortunately, Frida was never able to finish this project. Unfortunately, her father, Wilhelm, died later that year, and the project was never completed. Now, after her father's death, she painted one of her other works, The Broken Columns. And as you can see, it shows her, a lot of her, and she's split down the middle, and it reveals a column going down her spine. It's all cracked, and it represents her physical condition, her struggle, and her constant pain due to her injuries. And this, unfortunately, only got worse as we get into the next section, which, unfortunately, is her death. Frida's health worsened severely, with very few treatments making any difference. Among her injuries, she was diagnosed with gangrene in 1950. For those of you who don't know what gangrene is, it is a very serious disease where there's too much damage in one of the limbs, and it starts to rot while it's still on the person. And of course, this is a very serious condition, and it did not help her at all. She was bedridden after that. So not only was she stuck in her bed when she was 6, but now she's a grown woman, and she is once again stuck in her bed due to injuries and illness. Fortunately for Frida, she got her own exhibition later that year, and since she was bedridden, she wasn't exactly able to stand, of course. But that did not stop her. Her strong spirit moved on, kept going, and she arrived at her gallery by ambulance, and she had a 4-post bed set up in front of her gallery where she was able to greet the people going inside. Now that is a tough person. You are bedridden, your foot is rotting off of your leg, and you still decide that you're going to go in there by ambulance and sit in that bed and greet people as you go inside because you are so passionate about what you do. That is what makes this person so great. Unfortunately, this is where the good part ends. She had 2 more hospitalizations, one of which was the amputation of her right leg to prevent the further spread of the decay. And, oh god, this is nasty stuff. No, it's bad. She became severely depressed, and there are some speculations that some of her hospitalizations were due to attempted suicide. Once again, despite her physical condition, this didn't stop her from being politically active in the political stance that she took, communism. She actively spoke against the US-backed removal of President Jacobo Alvarez of Guatemala. Unfortunately, a couple weeks after this, on July 13th, she died at the ripe old age of 47. She died in the family home where she was born and raised and lived most of her life. And it was supposedly to pulmonary embolism. However, some question the nature of this woman's death. Some say it was suicide. Others say what the doctors said. My question to you, what do you think? It just goes to show that no matter who you are, where you're from, what political stance you take, you can do whatever you want. It's not a matter of what people say you can and can't do, how far they say you can't go. It's a matter of how much you let that affect you. She got impaled, okay? And look at her. She became a great person. She was an amazing artist. Her art is still admired today. And yeah, she had so many of these things that set her back. And what do you have setting you back? I will leave you with that question. My name has been Kellen Foster, and I thank you for watching this video.